And now, the Big D and Bubba Weekly Podcast.
Big D and Bubba, they have a show 5 days a week, but they don't get to say everything that's on their mind, so they have an extra one, and that's how we get the podcast. Big D and Bubba's podcast. Big D and Bubba's podcast.
That song is so therapeutic that it could be sold at health food stores.
Patrick did.
Oh my God! I missed that. Was that when I was out of the room?
Yeah, that was like Monday or Tuesday. We had this amazing phone call, and yeah, she loved your podcast theme. Yeah, she was amazing.
Oh, wait,
That song is so therapeutic that it could be sold at health food stores.
She's talking about the podcast theme for real?
Yes, for real.
Oh, man, that warms my heart, lady.
Yeah, man.
Oh,
They're very therapeutic song. Health food stores or whatever.
that is the greatest thing I've heard today.
Remember health food stores, like you used to walk in and they kind of smelled kind of hempy and just kind of had a weird thing to it, and they would sell like
You've been to Whole Foods? It still kind of has that kind of hippie.
it does.
Like,
it's kind of a it's kind of a hippie thing.
Okay.
You
Yeah,
said hippie or himpie?
Both.
both.
You said hippie
Both,
and I
really.
said hippie because they both work.
But there used to always be one, like when they first started up. Now they're kind of hip and whatever. But it used to be like you go in there and that's where you would get like that was the first place I saw they had raw organic almonds, and I was like, why would you ever do that? What do I need?
Because it's so
raw
expensive
organic
and everything
almonds?
too. That's who needs that?
I don't know.
Who must have the
I
raw
also like
organic?
my almonds flavored. I appreciate the salt.
Man, some of
or-
that stuff, it's so good.
I don't
Right.
even know what a raw, unsalted, whatever organic.
Unroasted,
Boring.
unsalted almonds are not. I mean, it's a different thing, but it's almost you start eating and you go, this is
they're-
wrong.
They're very
Something's wrong with
bland.
this.
They're boring.
Yeah,
They're
very
so
bland.
boring. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are they still like as hard and crunchy?
No, they're a little softer,
Little
actually.
softer.
like. Are they cashew soft?
No.
Because I find cashews are just like the softest of.
I was thinking cashews. Sorry, cashews, unroasted, unsalted.
Very
same
similar.
thing. Very similar.
No,
It's
I like cashews unroasted and unsalted. I've had them and they're
They're
very
You might
should.
sweet.
like almonds then.
Yeah, you might like the raw
I
almonds.
mean, I don't know. I trust
I'm
you.
not saying they're bad.
I
Because
trust
they're not
you and your
bad. It's just
expertise over
it's
my
a whole
expertise
different
when it comes to nuts.
thing. You saying I know more about nuts than you?
You know much more about nuts than I do.
I don't know.
I'm a 5-year-old.
Hey, Carson.
Wow.
Sorry.
That song is
Sorry.
I think between the four of us, I know the least.
Oh, wow. We really devolved.
I'm not saying a word.
Nope.
Hey, by the way, how is your dating world going?
Oh, very non-existent right now.
None at all.
Why?
I don't like to be on the apps from the new year until Valentine's Day because everybody's really clamoring to get a date for Valentine's Day, and I find it super awkward. So I usually get back on the apps on the 15th of February.
You're so weird.
Like the day after.
Yeah.
Who waits until the day after?
Me.
Carson and I, and you guys know her too. She's a friend of the show. Her name is Monta. And Monta is always making fun of how horrible the dating apps are. And this is an actual profile. I guess I can show this.
Yeah,
I don't
why
care.
not? Yeah.
It's an actual profile pic that she saw. It's just a guy his profile picture is a Nutcracker toy. And it
He
says,
knows
Dylan,
more about nuts than we
Dylan,
do.
32, Nutcracker. She goes, what am I supposed to do with that? Is somebody actually swiping right
Yeah.
on that? She goes, where are the normal people?
Yeah, there's nothing tantalizing about
this
that
is
to
not
make you want
endearing
to.
or cute. Or,
No, it's not at all.
This is creepy.
It's kind of creepy.
This
It's
is
like the
creepy.
kind of guy who wears your skin as an outfit.
I don't know who you are, Dylan. If you ever see this, I'm trying to help you. You could
I
be an
feel like
ugly, fat man. Okay? It's better than this. This is creepy.
Yeah,
This is-
because I look at that and I think, oh, this is a guy who's gonna giggle on dates.
that or
I'm a giggler.
By the way,
Is that terrible? I mean,
wow, boy, you just got on Bubba's front porch.
I am a giggler.
Wow, Carson.
If you can make me giggle, you will get to see the jiggle. It's awesome. Or not, apparently. Who knew?
How long you been married, Bo?
A very long time. Maybe she likes the
lucky?
giggle.
So, Carson, have you ever been on a date with a giggler?
There was one guy I went out with, and when I even say giggle, I mean he laughed at. When I say everything, it's it's that nervous that a lot of people I don't think know how to talk anymore without following it up with a laugh. Like, yeah, I went to the store today. Why? What's the comedy in that? I missed it.
We get people who call the show and do that.
Yeah.
They laugh uncomfortably because they don't know what to do because they've never called before.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of and there's a lot of great radio shows out there, but there are a lot of other ones that just they laugh at things that aren't funny. Mm-hmm. And if you listen to, that's why the whole weenie in the butt on
Family Guy.
Family Guy. Yeah. That if you know what that is, you can Google that and see it. But it's making fun of radio morning shows. Because they're over the top dumb, and laughing for no reason.
Listen, I'm of the four of us, I'm the laugher here because I'm the one who laughs when you say something funny. But that's fine. I'm not laughing at anything that I don't genuinely. I have one friend who's a radio guy who likes to get on me because he says I over laugh. I'm like, but that's my laugh. That's my laugh. And that's my real laugh.
See,
and
mine is much more a giggle. I don't have a big guffaw.
No, but it's a real. He's not just over there going because he feels like he's supposed
I have
to.
The George Bush giggle.
I can tell you because one of my goal here is to make all of you laugh, and ain't nobody in this room giving me free laughs.
That's true. Yeah.
You got to earn them. You got to say something funny in this room to get laughs. So that's part of what makes it real.
Remember we worked with a guy who thought that he said we needed to be less funny on the air because we needed to be more emotional, and laughter is not an emotion. I'm like, dude, laughter is the most priceless of all emotions.
Possibly the dumbest person
Heaven
I've ever
forbid somebody feels good
I know.
and has endorphins and a smile on their face. What?
Yeah, well, the problem is
people
that guy
connect with emotions.
That guy had
is
probably
not an emotion.
Yeah, he completely missed the point because he's probably never made anyone laugh before. Yeah. He had no sense of humor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Just because you're not funny, sir, does not mean that being funny is not a great benefit in something like this, in a radio show.
There's a reason that you have girls who always say, I just want a guy who makes me laugh.
I mean, that's crap. They also want him to be cute. They want a cute guy who makes them laugh.
But I will tell you in my dating experiences that a couple guys that were long-term boyfriends I would have never been attracted to, except they were so darn funny. They basically, their humor was what
makes them hotter.
I don't want to say wore me down, but you know.
I can joke all I want, and I did not have a lot of, quote, luck with the ladies. We talked on this show for years about how bad it was.
At least you got lucky with the right one.
Right. But I got way more luck with the ladies than I would have gotten looking like I do with the, I'm not rich, I ain't super handsome, and I don't have look at me, I'm a big fat guy.
And you use ain't in sentences?
I use ain't in sentences a lot, okay? But, funny worked. Remember we didn't know you at the time, but you've heard the story. Remember the girl I went on the date with who, told me at the end that I wasn't funny?
I don't remember
this. I talk about this all the
this
time.
one.
Oh man, it was the worst date I've ever been on. Not the funniest or the weirdest, but the worst date I ever went on was this girl. She walked up. She basically sat down at the table, and it's some friends of mine that had set us up, and she just drilled me with questions one after another. I felt like I was being cross-examined in a trial. It was so uncomfortable, and I made a couple of jokes, and at one point she goes, "Don't do that." And I went,
Don't do what? By the way, you're paying for your own meal.
Yeah, she goes, that thing where you do that self-deprecating thing where you try to be funny, it doesn't work.
Wow.
I went, I got news for you, lady. This is my whole job. It's also my whole personality. and I've got hundreds of friends and 17 listeners who might disagree with you that it does work for me. And she's like, it doesn't. It's very unattractive. I'm like, we're not. And at the end of the date, this is what y'all might remember. The end of the date, I walked her to her car, and then I said politely, maybe we can do this again sometime. And she goes, no, we're not going to go out again. And I said, oh, okay. She goes, would you like me to tell you why? And a smart, healthy person would say, no, thank you.
Run,
no, I'm good. But as a comedian and also an idiot, I of course I said, yeah, sure, yeah. What do you got? And she just laid into me, man.
What did she say?
Well, one, I think I'm funny, and I'm not. I'm not enough of a type A personality for her. I'm like, lady, what do you?
Right?
Who are you looking for if I'm not a type
What
A
alphabet are
personality?
you using?
Is there a letter that comes before A that I'm unaware of? And then she complained about how I dressed, my shoes.
Wow.
She didn't like that I'd let my hair go gray because a man with more self-respect would have dyed it. I'm like, I'm like, what? What a terrible thing to say to somebody you just met. But she was married within a year.
Wow.
And I pray for that man sometimes.
Wow.
I do. I hope he's okay.
There's no way they're together still.
And you know what? I
Or
haven't
maybe
checked in a while.
there are people. There
What's her
are
name?
dudes.
I'm not saying her name.
There
not
are
saying her
how many
name.
letters?
I'm not. Dude.
Can we wordle her?
First of all, can we wordle her?
We'll get 6 guesses.
You guess, and I'll tell you if the letter is correct.
Yeah.
I honestly don't. I have to really rack my brain for her name. I used to know it, but this has been.
I've got
probably
2
6 years
friends that are very similar in personalities, and both of them basically defer 100% to whatever their wife wants. Like, I've been at dinner and they order something, and the wife will go, "You don't want that." Oh, okay. What do I want? You want the blah 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 blah, and I'll just sit there going, "Wow,
I can
this is
see me
crazy."
saying that.
Now, Stacey will say
Viv
something. She'll
or
go, "Is
vice
that going to
versa.
fit in your calories?"
No, I don't even mean that. But like, sometimes I do feel like I know what Vivica wants at a restaurant more than she does because she thinks she wants this, but no, she's gonna wish she had gotten.
You've actually told her before.
Not like that though. I wouldn't say it like that. I'd be
Oh,
like,
this
I
was
think you
legit
would,
like
don't
that.
Don't you think you would rather have the thing? And but also my wife is the person who reads the whole menu and can't decide. So that's her. She'll tell you herself. That's one of her biggest weaknesses. She has trouble sitting down at a restaurant and picking something. It's amazing she ever settled for me. It's really
That's crazy. Like, I walk in and I'm like, I want a burger. So I go to this place for burgers and I will get something completely different. I'll go into a sushi restaurant and I'll end up having miso soup. I'm like,
Bubba's the guy who goes to the steakhouse and orders the fish. He's the guy. He's that guy.
Did Barry Manilow die?
but never the chicken.
No,
What?
no. Are you kidding? I wouldn't be here. I would be curled up in the fetal position, weeping. Absolutely not. No.
He's trending.
Yeah, he is. You know how Neil Young pulled his music off Spotify? Barry Manilow has done the same thing.
Oh, because of Rogan?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I gotcha. What do these people think that we care? I don't care. What does that have to do if you disagree with what does that have to do with anything? You're going to punish someone who's a fan of yours that listens to you on something because you don't agree with what someone else who's also on that same platform?
Thing. I'm just bringing.
I mean, nothing against
attention to
Barry.
it,
I know
but-
you love him and all. I like his music.
That's
It's just a weird thing. Yeah.
Barry,
totally
he
against
also, in the past, he's actually stepped out. There were other talk shows and stuff that he had been booked on, and because of differences in positions on things like gay marriage, he would actually back out of it. So this isn't the first time that
that's
he's
fine.
just. And the thing is, he's not being super loud about it. He just did it.
Yeah,
yeah,
when you
you're
do
right.
things,
But
when
he
you
is
make a
very
stand, whether you're pro, against, whatever, as long as you're consistent, then I don't care. I would rather somebody be consistent, but also understand that
Okay, but
sometimes
RIP my workout playlist. Because the amount of Barry Manilow I have in my workout playlist is absurd.
Yeah, because Carsen is a fanalow.
Huge.
For those
I
of you
just
who
don't know where you cut that stuff off. We can't have disinformation. Okay, well, you're against GMOs, Neil Young, and I don't want to put my foot in the lion's mouth, but you realize GMOs have saved 2 billion lives in the last 50 years?
The other problem with Neil Young, though.
I'm just saying, that's
No,
disinformation.
but don't forget, too, Neil Young had his own streaming service. This is where I took real umbrage with the idea that we were all, whichever side you're on, that Neil Young, I think, it wasn't called Pong, but it was something along those lines.
So he was slow to come to Spotify anyway. It's
right.
like
So
Garth,
this is where I go. I don't
don't
want
care about this.
There's
You're
a
just making a
shadow
thing.
for me that this is not a cut and dried. I'm upset
And
about one issue. I feel like he's got other.
Just for the record, because we're so unpolitical here, I'm not complaining about people who are against GMOs. I understand people have reasons. And blah, blah. What I'm saying is,
What is
they're
GMO?
a genetically modified organism. Okay,
For
what I'm
like
saying,
food
for like
or
food.
whatever it may
The
be.
fish food has GMOs in it. Listen, if you believe strongly in that, good for you. The thing is, there are a group of people, there are a group of scientists who would tell you that is disinformation. Okay, so who gets to decide what is disinformation?
whose opinion matters
Whose opinion
the most?
matters?
Because
Okay?
everybody's got an opinion.
Everybody has
and
an opinion
a lot of
on
times,
tons of stuff.
Yeah, and a lot of times we're
this
wrong,
is-
and we just have to be able
You
to go,
will not
okay.
find something I care more about than free speech. And before it became before cancel culture was even a thing, I used to be the one, because it was always comedians were the first ones getting popped for this kind of stuff. And I would defend it every time.
Yeah.
Was he trying to be funny? Maybe he missed the mark, but this
Well,
isn't an assassinatable
How many times
offense.
have we said on the air, if you can't discern between humor and hate, then you're probably not somebody that needs to be listening to our show.
Yeah, and also,
And any comedian
you're just
or any
probably
whomever.
an unhappy person. I'm sorry, you're probably the kind of person who's just not very. You should
Well,
talk to somebody.
That's
Maybe
sad.
get you
I'm
some-
sad for
yeah.
Carsen for the Barry Manilow thing. I didn't realize that.
You don't know how
he's-
many times "I'm Your Man" is on repeat on my workout.
I've never
that a
You're the
song?
only person I know that would have
Barry
Barry
Manilow.
Manilow on your workout. Barry Manilow?
Some Kind of Friend, Bandstand Boogie. The only one they didn't have was You're Looking Hot Tonight, because it's only on a greatest hits collection, and they didn't have that greatest hits collection on Spotify. So, yeah, you would have to pull it
Over
up on
under
YouTube.
on the number of people on the entire planet who know that.
I don't
I'm
even
gonna
know
go
those
7
songs.
and a half.
It's really it's
She has mentioned 4 songs. 3
yeah. Nobody
songs I've
knows
never
the
heard
I
of.
love upbeat angry Barry, and yeah. Some Kind of Friend.
That's
when
not
he
a
just-
thing.
It is like when he starts trashing this chick and being like, "Saw you at the Beechwood Cafe. You looked at me, but you had nothing to say." That was Some Kind of Friend you turned out to be. Barry got no time for you. Barry got no time.
dang,
You
Barry
driving
got
around
a
your
feisty.
Maserati? He don't like it.
Oh my God.
Is that part of the song,
I
too?
don't know. This is
He
so
name
great.
checks Maserati. Yep.
Wow, which means that it's probably a real person he was calling out.
Oh, I bet he was.
You know what it is? It's like when Bubba gets all Star Wars geek and I realize that I'm not as bad as that. It's like I'm a music nerd. I may be one of the 10 biggest music nerds on the planet. And then Carsen will sometimes say stuff like that. It's so nerdy that even I get to make fun of it. How often do I get to make fun of somebody else
It was a
for
couple
being a
months
music
ago. Patrick and I were talking, and I like run in. I go, "Dude, Bruce Dickinson is coming to town." And he goes, "Even I'm not nerdy enough to go watch the lead singer of Iron Maiden talk."
Talk. You know, if he had been playing a show, I would have gone to
Yeah,
that.
but isn't he like really smart?
Yeah, super smart, very engaging. But yeah, Patrick's like, "Yeah, even I'm not going to go to that." And
Carson
here I am. I'm like, "I
to
need the
hear-
pre-show code."
I need to watch
Like,
that documentary, the Flight 666,
666,
the
yeah.
Really
Iron
good.
Maiden.
I've seen that. It's
Yeah,
good.
where you watch him fly his band around.
Yeah, I
on
wanna
the
see that.
747.
Y'all, I just want to say it again. Carsen went to hear the lead singer of Iron Maiden give a talk for an hour and a half.
I'm going to see Henry Rollins do the same thing.
If your dude from the Smashing Pumpkins
Yeah.
was doing a talk, would you go, Patrick?
I would, and I would
See?
fully expect you all to make fun of me for that. Fully.
Actually,
Absolutely.
we need to get him on because
Oh, I
I
want-
still, I want
I've
to talk to him
actually
about the
tried.
shape-shifting
Yeah.
alien stuff
Oh,
and
yeah.
all that.
He-
That's
yeah.
some
And
craziness.
he and I could talk about wrestling.
He won't talk about that on the air, but
Why?
Because he won't.
That's fine.
He wouldn't do it on.
That's fine.
on Stern,
I'll talk to him
but-
and he can just nod.
Carson, I've been kind of getting into wrestling a little
Have
bit.
you?
Yeah, I watched. What was the thing last Friday?
SmackDown in Nashville.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or was that what it was? Was it SmackDown? I don't know, but
Yeah,
is this
WWE.
because we went to micro wrestling and did it?
No,
did it bring
I
you
think-
back?
No, I
Did it
just
light
got
a fire in
I don't.
you?
It's so drama filled, and I like it's easy to make fun of it. I found that there was like a progressions that I went through. At first, it was like, oh wow, there's a lot of people at this thing, and then
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
like, oh my gosh, this is so dumb. Oh.
And then you come back around.
Oh, don't let him do that to you.
Well, that's why,
Oh.
dude, I got into heels on Stars. And it's weird because Carsen, a wrestling super fan, can't get into it. However,
Don't tell Alexander Ludwig, but I was kind of bored.
I love
Really?
the show. Yeah, it's great.
Heels are the bad guys.
Yes.
Correct.
Faces
Yeah, the
of
face
good
is the
guys.
good guy. The heel is the bad guy.
You know what tomorrow night is, D?
What's
tomorrow
that?
night?
Royal Rumble.
What?
See, I don't know what does that mean.
It's
The
like
Royal-
a pay-per-view.
Yeah,
It's a big one. of their
but
big
you can
4
watch it on Peacock.
events.
So I have very big plans that I am going to cook up some fried dough.
Wait, it's pay-per-view, but it's for free on Peacock?
Well, it's because WWE is on Peacock, so yeah, you can. I think you have to pay a little extra. Well, because the WWE app, if you subscribe to
is it? When is it?
Tomorrow night.
No, tomorrow night.
Yeah.
I was like, oh man, can my dad and I come over while all the women are at the baby shower and we can watch Royal Rumble? 'Cause
So-
we would do that.
My brother's in town, and he's like, Saturday night's Royal Rumble, and I go, what? And he goes, yeah. So I figure we'll watch that. You could make some fried dough, and I'm like, this is my life. I'm sitting around on a Saturday night
God.
with my brother,
With your brother.
watching like WWE. And I go, you know what? All right, that's fine. I'm in. Let's do it.
By the way, speaking of wrestling, something that's presented in a similar way that my dad is really into, like, and I'd never really paid attention, and we watched it last night. BattleBots on Discovery.
Yes.
Now, BattleBots
Yes.
I've
used
never
to be
seen
on
it.
Comedy Central like
Yeah.
20 years ago.
Oh wait, oh yeah,
And it was
Yeah.
presented, and it failed. It kind of faded out. It had like 3 seasons, but they kept doing it in real life. And they have the events in Vegas and stuff. And then like 5 years ago, Discovery brought it back as a TV show, and it's really good. They have the 2 guys doing play-by-play, and it's like real dudes. I can't remember which one, but it's like Chris.
It's not Robo Dudes?
Something, but like a guy who had done other stuff. I can't think of his name.
Like real announcers.
Like real announcers. You're like, oh wow, this is good play-by-play. This is actually really well done and presented. And they have the ringside announcer who brings them in. Coming
BattleBots-
in with his engineer, blah, 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 blah. And he does the big voice. The best BattleBot of all time. And I can't remember his name, but, and I was like,
And then they
wow,
fight
this is-
the bots.
the 2 robots
Chris
fight each
to
other.
Rose?
crash against each
Chris
other.
Rose and the other
Kenny
guy's
Florian?
Kenny Florian.
And then they like have
There's
all
an
the
old
weird
fighter.
stuff. They've
Yeah.
got like little things, arms that'll
they
beat
have
them
like
up and
they have
spinny
stuff on the outside
blades.
that's like obstacles that can, because some of the robots,
have soft tissue.
no, their strategy is just to like lift the other one up, push it, flip it over, push it into the spikes, push it into the grinder, push it into the hammer. But oh my gosh, they were all different. I just sat there and watched that with my dad for an hour. It was fascinating.
I have not watched BattleBots since it was on Comedy Central.
Right.
So
Yeah,
it's
I
been what
remember
20
20 years ago, and
So
I was
the
like, oh,
tech
this-
has got to be
The
way
tech's
better.
gotten better, and the presentation has gotten way better. And the fact that they do it like a big not a tournament, but they do it like a season where they all fight each other, and then they come back, and the leaders they can put into a tournament, and they have a big thing at the end of the year. I'm like, I would go to. There's a crowd. That's the
I
other
can't
thing
believe
I
that
think
I
they didn't
just
used to
now
have.
got into this. Like, right, just hearing your excitement
Oh, I know.
got
It
me
was-
excited. I'm like, I'm totally adding this to
It's also
my-
amazing the emotional attachment you can form to them.
Oh yeah.
That when
to
you
the
are
robot or the
yes,
people?
no, the robot.
The robot. But
That like you feel sympathy when one gets pushed into the spikes.
Oh, yeah.
You're
And,
like,
like, the
oh
fan
no,
favorite-
I hate
but-
to see that.
I was going to say, I don't know if on Comedy Central 20 years ago they had a live audience. They do it in a little mini arena with like a live crowd there cheering it on.
Yeah.
So it's got a lot, that adds a lot to it.
Yeah, I don't remember an audience. I remember it was just like the crew, each different team.
So like, remember how dull sports was last year with nobody there?
Yeah.
Like that. So yeah, having the crowd there makes it a better experience in the show. And then when they win, they smack talk each other. Like the lead driver, the lead engineer is like, I knew we had the best robot, and I knew we had the strategy. My driver, we come in here. It's like NASCAR. It's unbelievable. They do everything but thank the sponsors. It's so freaking cool. They go to the other guy who lost last night, and he's like, I got to give it up. If we were going to lose, that's the best robot we've faced so far, and they deserve to win. It was, I was like,
They can quote pi to
Yeah.
the 18th position.
yeah.
Yeah.
It
That's
was-
good. It's
I'm
fun.
telling you, y'all check it out. It's
All right,
actually really entertaining.
BattleBots. I'm in.
So, all right. Y'all ready to just, I laughed so hard at our Barry Manilow thing.
Are you okay, fam?
Wow,
You're laughed
all
You
right.
all
out.
right? You all right? You're gonna make it
I
all
am a
right.
little bit, yes.
Carson, name one more Barry Manilow song nobody's ever heard of.
I want to do it with you.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, that is literally that. And being 4 years old listening to it, I didn't understand that. Bermuda Triangle. That's also a jaunty tune.
My God.
Jaunty.
Jaunty. yes.
Jaunty Barry Manilow
Jaunty
tunes.
tune.
Well, this podcast is on Spotify, so if you're listening to it, you can't go listen to Barry Manilow next.
But hey, a wonderful thing about the podcast jingle is
That song is so therapeutic that it could be sold at health food stores.
and we're about to play it right
Yes.
now.
Oh.
Yes, this was the podcast, but now it's over. But that's okay,
It's
'cause
okay.
you can listen to the regular show on the radio every day.
That's right.
It was the podcast.